Hi Mary-Rose.
Hello.
I'm so happy today to introduce you to the French audience.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me, Muriel.
Well, I will have to ask Mary-Rose. She's an officiant here in Manhattan, and I will ask her some questions, and she will explain us how she's doing this job every day. So, for the first question, Mary-Rose, how long have you been officiant?
I was ordained in 2009, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, so 4.5 years, going on 5.
Okay, great. And where is your office?
I don't have an office.
Okay.
I meet my couples wherever it's, usually where it's convenient for them, usually in Manhattan somewhere.
Okay. You have some places you want, you like, and
Yeah, there's
then
some places that I like that are quiet, and
Yes.
so we can have a good conversation. So, yeah.
Okay. And how do brides and grooms to be can find you on the web? You have a website?
Yes.
Do you participate to fairs or magazines?
So mostly 50% is through websites, wedding websites like Wedding Wire, and the other 50% is word of mouth. I do some advertising in Brides UK magazine.
Yes, I saw you.
Yes,
She's an international officiant.
he is international officiant, and that's pretty much most of it.
Okay, thank you. And well, as you're here in Manhattan, you have UK's issues. Who is your main customer today?
Sure. The clients that I get mostly are spiritual but not religious.
Okay.
They may have been raised in a very religious background. Maybe they're Catholic, maybe they're Jewish, but they want something that isn't so dogmatic.
Yeah.
That's something something a little more personal that speaks to them more personally about their spirituality. I also get a lot of interfaith couples, so maybe the groom is Jewish and the bride is Catholic, and they want a ceremony that melds the two religions or two of their traditions. And then I get a lot of intercultural couples.
Yes.
Maybe he's Spanish and maybe she's Dutch, and some same-sex couples as well.
Okay, maybe because you're here in Manhattan and it's a very touristic
Very
city.
international, very diverse.
And for sure, do you need some people who can translate the ceremony, or how can you do that?
I usually get a translator.
Okay.
I hire a translator. I'm not, unfortunately, I only speak English.
Okay, but when people come here in Manhattan, they usually speak English. But what we have to note here is that we met together because of a wedding of French people who doesn't speak a word in English, and I was here to organize their wedding, and more during the ceremony I translate your work.
So it was great. It worked out great.
Yes. It was easy for everyone here.
I never knew my ceremony sounded so good in French.
It was really good. So you said that you have several kind of customers. Are you a religious or non-religious celebrant?
Comment métier?
Yes,
Good.
We are here in the Mandarin Hotel, so we have lunch during this interview.
Oh, okay.
So,
what was the question again?
yeah, are you a religious or non-religious officiant?
Well, I was raised Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
But my life experience has brought me to more spiritual than religious.
Yes, more spiritual than religious. Indeed.
I still go to church, but I also go to synagogue. And I also
Okay, it's a little bit.
temples and you name it.
Yeah. Okay.
So you want to do that question again? You can edit this, right?
Yeah. What is one of the most difference in your business here in America? What is very different from ours in France is that you have the both specialty that you can be religious or non-religious, but you also have the legal authorization to celebrate weddings.
Yes.
Can you explain us?
Sure, yeah. So in the United States, you don't have to go to an office. You can have a religious person, a priest or a rabbi, or you can even have somebody like me who's went to seminary, ordained, but isn't necessarily affiliated with a organized religion.
Okay.
And they, registered for New York City. You have to be registered with the city. So I'm registered with the city, and each state has a different criteria.
Yes.
And so
Do you need to take special courses to become a celebrant, as you are today?
Sure. Well, I went to seminary, so
So you did?
yeah. So
Okay.
that was a 2-year program.
Okay.
But that's not. You don't have to take that route.
Okay,
some
as in
people-
France.
Yeah. Yes. Right.
You don't need to, but it's better for your clients.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, is it a full-time job for you?
Yes, it's my full-time job. This is what I do full-time. I do have a couple spiritual counseling clients, but just,
Okay.
it's very maybe 5% of my business.
Okay.
The rest is
Right.
weddings.
Okay. And how much? How many weddings?
I do about one a week. I average one a week.
One a week?
Yeah,
Really?
So, yeah. So some officiants, they do maybe 100 a year. My ceremonies are very personalized, so I don't really have the bandwidth to do that many weddings because each customer I really spend the time with and really work on.
Okay. So one a week. It's really amazing for us in France.
Is it?
We have so many things to do in France to say that this kind of ceremony is very useful for everyone who wants to be married, really. And is there any peak period in Manhattan for weddings, or?
It's pretty much the same throughout the country, or spring through fall.
Okay.
June is very popular.
Yeah.
October is very popular.
October too.
Yeah,
Okay.
the fall because the leaves change. It's very
Yes.
beautiful here in the East Coast.
And as you mentioned that in autumn the colors are very beautiful, do you have a favorite spot in Manhattan to celebrate weddings?
I don't have a favorite spot. There are a lot of really great spots. Central Park, many
Yes.
really beautiful places in Central Park. There's a lot of great hotels here. They have views of the park. They have views of the water. Then there's a lot of catering and event halls that are very beautiful.
Okay.
So the New York area is a great place to get married
Yes.
if you're looking, because there's so many. You can have a little cute little ceremony in a restaurant to a grand ball at like the Mandarin Oriental.
Yes.
So there's many options.
And do you have a favorite style of ceremony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I like to bring a lot of joy, a lot of happiness. And the moment at which two people, profess their commitment, their
Yes.
lifetime commitment is very powerful, very poignant moments, and I really like to emphasize that in my ceremonies. And my ceremonies do tend to be more spiritual than religious, but I do, somebody wants a very religious elements. Maybe they want the Greek Stephana, the crowns,
Okay.
switching the crowns.
Okay.
So very heartfelt, very warm, and I'm a very enthusiastic person, so I can't help
So,
to make it
yes.
very enthusiastic.
Sure. I know you have a blog, and can you explain, because you can give now here your website,
Yes, okay.
and then explain that you have a blog, a web blog, and maybe you can,
Okay.
you
All
can
right.
explain
Well,
us.
my website is englehart.com, and that's ENGLE with a hyphen.
Yes.
HEART, like my beating heart.
Yes.
.com. And the blog, you can get to the blog there. It's a brilliantly read blog.
Yes.
And I must confess, it's not as robust as I was hoping it would be. I just haven't had time to do
But
much.
for sure you have one wedding a week, so during
Yes,
the
well,
my year,
my plan is to get those up on that website and on the blog. So yes, definitely look for that. There will be more details, specifically couples who want something very special, ritual in their ceremony. Talk about those details, and some couples have amazing stories how they met. I've had couples that they dated in college and then they kind of went their separate ways, and 15 years later, the 15-year reunion, they got back together, and they got married in 6 months because life had shown them that was the. I had couples that were met online, and one was I think she was in Hong Kong and he was in Australia, and they met online, and then.
So beautiful stories.
Some amazing stories. Yeah. So I hope to share some of those on my blog as well, as soon as I get the time.
Okay, thank you, Mary-Rose.
Thank you.
And you can find Mary-Rose on her website, englehart.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.